Hi, Eric Wilson here, 30-year independent licensed mechanic. I'm going to show you in the next short while the inside story on this 2013 Land Rover LR2. Now coming in on the front left tire. Okay, I want to point out, first of all, you got about 80% tread on all-season radios here, so there's definitely a good amount of tread left there. Now coming behind the front left tire, this is the left lower ball joint. Now this is tight and it's critical because it's the only thing, this holds the wheel to the chassis, very important. This rubber boot here is the outer CV boot. It's full of grease. If it was ripped, you'd see grease all over the place. Important not to be because it lubricates the axle going forward. This is your sway bar length, your left sway bar length from there up to there, and that's intact and holding and doing its job, and it dampens the sway when it goes around the corner. The amount of brakes you've got left on the front, you got about 20,000 K left on your front brakes, so down a bit, but definitely not out. This is the left outer CV, the left outer tie rod. Now this is critical. It's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering, and that is tight. The inner CV boot right there, good and dry. More importantly, look behind it. Behind it there, that's a leak point. If it was going to leak, it would leak right there because there's a seal behind that shaft, and that is bone dry. Very good. Okay, now your catalytic converter here, nothing wrong with it. Trouble is, though, people are reaching under and going cut, and you got yourself about a $1,500 repair job. Now what I'm going to do, if you want, is I'll put stainless steel cables over this and it'll stop, because people are laying on the ground, remember, when they're doing this, and if they hit the stainless steel cables, they will not be able to cut that out, because believe me, that is going to cost you a lot of money if it goes missing. Now coming across to the right front tire, but again about 70%, a little bit less on the front right than you have on the front left. Now the right outer tie rod, that is tight. The right lower ball joint is tight. The right sway bar link connected from there up to there, intact, doing its job. The right outer CV boot, good and dry. Right inner CV boot, good and dry. More importantly, I don't see any indication now. I don't see any indication of oil leaks here at all on the motor or the tranny, which is a good sign. On your brakes, you got about 20,000 K on your front brakes. Brake-wise, leak-wise, suspension-wise, I don't see anything of any issue so far. Now your drive shaft, your exhaust, I should say, your exhaust here, all good, no cracks, no breaks. Down to your muffler here. Yeah, no cracks, no breaks on your exhaust there, which is a good sign. Now coming to the right rear, you got about 60%, a little less tread on the right rear than you have on the other ones there. On your brakes, now you've only got about 5,000 K left on the rear brakes. I would say that you want to swap up your rear brakes there, because they're going to be worn out very, very soon. So a set of pads, and if you do it right, if you do it now, you'll be able to get it without doing the rotors, which will save you some money, but definitely want to be doing that in the near future. The right outer CV boot, full of grease, it's good and dry. That's important. The right inner CV boot, good and dry. More importantly, right here is the diff. Okay, this whole thing here is the rear diff, and if it's going to leak, you see it leaking right here. You see it all sorts of wet here. See for yourself, good and dry. Another leak point right here, good and dry. Another leak point right here. Now, bone dry. So I am not seeing anything leak-wise there. Now your right rear sway bar link connected from there up to there, intact, doing its job. Your no issues on the right rear side. Coming across to the left rear side, I get about 60% tread on all season radios, so down a bit, but definitely not out. Definitely want to be doing your rear brake pad sooner than later. Okay, the left outer CV boot, good and dry. Left inner CV boot, good and dry. Left sway bar link connected from here up to there, intact, doing its job. Brake-wise, leak-wise, suspension-wise, no, brake-wise, definitely you need a set of pads for the rear, but leak-wise, suspension-wise, no issue I could see, and tires are good as well for the rear. Okay, now you've got one check engine code, and it is EVAP emission system leak. It's not a big issue. It's very small. It's usually it's at the that you call it the gas cap is not sealing properly. You just have to either crank your gas cap in again or possibly change the gas cap. That's usually the case for that check engine light there. But other than that, there is no check engine light. You do have a crack in your windshield, so that you're aware of that. Now I'll take out and show you the condition of the motor. Okay, with the motor running. Okay, shot of the exhaust with the motor running. Very, very clean. Now, one thing I always do is I take off the cap and the oil cap, and I look underneath for any indication of white goo. Now, white goo would be a mixture of oil and antifreeze, which is a big problem. I don't see any indication of that in this. In fact, I don't hear any indication of problems with this motor at all. As far as I can tell, this has been fairly well maintained. Now, so the only issue that I do see in this truck is the fact that you do need back brakes and possibly rotors as well. I can't tell, but definitely you need back brakes, and you got a crack in the windshield. That check engine light very well will come back on again, because if the gas cap is not sealing properly, it'll trip that light again, but it's a very minor light and not an issue. So hopefully this will help you make an informed decision.